Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Humza Yousaf is at it again. He cannot help himself. Every time he opens his mouth, he tells lies. The thing is, this is a lie that he's already been caught up in once before, when he's made vastly outrageous claims about how good Scotland's renewable energy is, claiming he's got the biggest wind resources in Europe. Well, I think he personally might have, but most of it seems to come out of his mouth. But this time, he's made yet more claims, which are quite clearly lies. We'll have to start calling him McMitty, won't we? Anyway, he's claiming now that Scotland has got the biggest renewables in Britain, and that any kind of nationwide renewable company needs to be based there because they have the biggest renewable base. This took about 0.3 of a second to fact check and has been shown to be what is known in the trade as complete and utter bollocks. Yet again, opening his mouth, making claims, unsubstantiated, turns out a load of old rubbish, lies. He knows they're lies. He knows they're lies going into the meeting, because otherwise he'd be an idiot not to have fact-checked this, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? Surely not. Of course he didn't. He doesn't do things like that. He's too stupid. Anyway, we'll take a look at this. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the picture and I'm just seeing three fools in front of me, but you'll see this picture in a moment. We'll take a look at this article to see why, yet again, Humza Yousaf opens this before engaging this. What a tip. Here goes. So here we are, gaff-prone Humza Yousaf in new public mishap, because he's had many, as he is forced to change Holyrood record. Things he'd said, they had written down in the record. He's had to go along and go, no, rub that out and change it to that because I was wrong again. The First Minister was forced to change the official Holyrood record after he once again overplayed Scotland's renewable capabilities in a row with Scottish Labour leader Anna Sawar. Anna Sawar came up with this proposal. It was they actually rejected it. It was originally a Nicola Sturgeon idea, which Labour then picked up. And then the SNP rejected it. It's very weird that they're rejecting their own policy, isn't it? Anyway, gaff-prone Humza Yousaf has been caught up in another public mishap, which has forced him to change the Holyrood record. The First Minister is becoming renowned for putting his foot in it, and not just his foot, with outlandish public statements, and has once again been forced to correct the record. Yeah, because he likes to be the big I am. He likes to make these big statements. Look at me, I'm brilliant. I'm going to say this happens. I'm going to say that happens. The trouble is, just because it comes out of your mouth, Humza, doesn't make it so. If wishes were horses and all that, and you're too stupid to understand that. The row was sparked after the First Minister was accused of making a false statement, again, at First Minister's questions in June, when he came under attack from Scottish Labour leader Anna Sawar. He overplayed the potential of Scotland's renewables, something which the SNP executive have become infamous for all the time. They go about we've got the biggest wind reserves or whatever in Europe. Turns out, no, you haven't, not by a long way. And in fact, the single biggest one, which wasn't as big as you were claiming, was the Netherlands, I think, off the top of my head. That can be checked. If I'm wrong, do mention it in the comments. But I think it's the Netherlands. Mr Sawar had mocked Mr Yousaf for refusing to back Sir Keir Starmer's plan to base a publicly owned energy company in Scotland if he became Prime Minister. It was a proposal which Nicola Sturgeon also launched in 2017, before quietly axing it, claiming it could not happen due to a lack of devolved powers. But now it can happen because it's going to come from central government, and they are saying, the UK government is saying, OK, we'll have this, and we will base it in Scotland. Not an issue. And of course, they've gone, no, is the way he says. The Scottish Labour leader said on Monday, Labour launched our mission to make Scotland and the UK a clean energy superpower. It's an ambitious and far-reaching plan with 4 objectives. It will deliver lower energy bills, deliver more jobs, greater energy security, and make the UK and Scotland... Why would you say the UK and Scotland? Scotland is part of the UK, but I'll let that one ride. A global climate leader. And it's backed up by GB Energy, a new publicly owned energy company that will be headquartered here in Scotland. The fact it's GB means, so not Northern Ireland obviously, but the fact it's GB says everything. No, we can't have it, it's GB, it's not Scottish, and he's rejected it, even though it was his own party's original idea. Man is a moron. This is billions of investment for Scotland, more jobs for Scotland, low bills for Scotland, and greater energy security. He then asked Mr Yousaf why was he so blinded to his opposition to a Labour government that he can't accept what's good for Scotland. Because it isn't his idea. It's a UK initiative, not a Scottish initiative, and that's what's upsetting him, even though the original idea was Scottish. And the biggest beneficiaries of this would be the Scottish people. And he'd rather not have that and screw the Scottish people than accept it under a UK-wide initiative. That is how screwed the man is. He would rather... what's the saying? He'd cut off his nose to spite his face. Little saying of my mother's there. The First Minister responded by shouting, "Of course a GB energy company will be based in Scotland because we have the majority of the renewals and the natural resources here in Scotland." Badam, and that was the line. And as Anna Sowell says, we should be thanking our London masters for the crumbs off the table. He's so nasty, isn't he? He's so weird. Oh, you're about to be given a massive gift. And it's like, oh, well, thank you for scraping the crumbs off the London table. Rather than realising he's going to get £1 billion energy company dropped on his doorstep. The man is so bitter, isn't he? But it's that claim with they had the majority of renewable and natural resources. Bada bing! No, he doesn't. This statement has been proven to be untrue, with Mr Yousaf admitting this in a letter to Scottish Tory MSP Liam Kerr. He had originally made a point of order at Holyrood to dispute his claim that Scotland have the majority of the renewables in Britain. And that is false. In the year ending 2020, Scotland had but 21% of the total renewables, installed capacity, and 26% of the renewable energy generated. Which is good. I mean, relatively speaking, in terms of population, that's excellent. But it's not the majority by a long mark. The First Minister claimed that he missed out the word per capita after the majority of renewables, which he claims is true. I think he's probably right on that, but he did not say per capita and he made the claim and that was what was wrong. This will now be corrected on the official Holyrood record, but Mr Kerr pointed out that this is the latest of many corrections the SNP have had to issue in recent years because they've been caught out in lies so many times. The SNP have had to, with this being more prevalent for energy misleading statements. Yes, it's always energy they get it on. Both Angus Robertson and Lorna Slater were collared for repeatedly claiming that Scotland has 25% of Europe's offshore wind capacity. And that turned out to be untrue, and the pair refused to apologise for using it, even after being told by civil servants it was not true. So the both of them claim this, and it is untrue, and they refuse to accept reality. The SNP, through and through. Reality is what we have to live in. What they live in is some kind of dream world made up by their own invention. Mr Kerr said, again and again, the SNP government get their facts wrong about an incredibly important issue to Scotland. And yet again, my colleagues and I have to poke through their thin tissue of spin and secrecy. And this is just the latest correction Humza and his ministerial team have had to issue. It begs the question, if they are so badly briefed on this, what else are they not telling the whole story about? That answer is easy. The word is everything. Because they're too stupid to understand what they're doing. We all know it. They are fools. And they have to keep inventing things to try and make themselves look relevant and look powerful. Because if you actually told the truth, people look at them and go, what? Another fail? Another fail? Another fail, because that's all they can do. And so they basically just invent facts. They invent these facts. And we put the word ficts. That's what they invent. Ficts. Works of fiction that they present as fact. What a load of rubbish. Anyway, we shall leave these pair of liars. We shall leave these entire bunch of liars. And we shall round off and we'll come up and we will finish the video. There we go again then. Walter McMitty telling tales about the environment and about renewables and about Scotland's ability to produce world-class clean energy. He keeps pushing the same old lies time and time again. He keeps getting caught out on them. And what does he do? Does he correct himself? Well, eventually he had to here, but he'll lie about it again. Because he can't shift that one thought in his head that he's always right and that he's the bestest ever. He's so... look at me, I'm so good with the environment. We're the best at the environment. We're the best at everything. Oh, we're best. And he can't accept when he's wrong. And the trouble is, he's wrong all the bloody time. Unbelievable. How can anyone be as wrong as often as they are? I mean, you sit there and I'll make mistakes, whatever. No. But someone will correct me in the comments and I will automatically apologise, put the record straight and say, I made a mistake, put my hand up. Because you sit here talking and sometimes you even know what you're talking about, but the wrong words come out. And that occasionally happens. But with him, it's every single thing. He never gets anything right. Anything. It's got to be deliberate. You can't be that wrong accidentally that often. It's got to be deliberate policy of being wrong all the time. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, do please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, never believe a word he says. Never. Bye.